Hello, artful kids. This is your teacher, Mrs. James Sharp. We're going to create an artwork today, a crayon resist jellyfish underwater scene. So here in Darwin, where we live, it's almost jellyfish time, jellyfish season, and you kind of want to stay out of the water because the jellyfish are really dangerous up here, right? But anyway, we're going to celebrate the coming of the jellyfish by doing an art project with them. So we're going to start. We have white paper, and it's a crayon resist project, which means we're going to draw with crayon or oil pastels we're going to use, and then we're going to paint over it, and all the places where there was crayon or oil pastel, the paint will resist and it will just go around those things. So we're gonna start with some jellyfish. Now I'm gonna use a pencil because white on white, it's gonna be really hard to see. So I'm just gonna block in a few of my jellyfish. You can have one giant jellyfish, you can have a few of them, you can have your paper going portrait or landscape, totally up to you. All right, so I'm just gonna draw really lightly a few of my jellyfish. All right, and then their tentacles go down. I'm just gonna do this super light. I'm just doing this because when I'm coloring in, I wanna be able to see them. Now you can go straight in with oil pastels if you want. I'm gonna make one upside down. You know how they, oh, I guess that didn't end up upside down. I'll do an upside down one over here. So yeah, you can go right in with oil pastels. You don't need to use a pencil. All right, so I've just kind of blocked in my jellyfish there. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get in with my oil pastel and I'm gonna color those in really well. Now remember, if you're leaving a lot of space, if you don't color in the whole part, then what happens is blue will fill in those parts. My tentacles here, and you can have dots inside. If you want to use some yellow, oh, I don't have any yellow. Maybe some orange. If you want to do some little bit of orange and add a little bit of, you know, other color in there, you can, but not too much. All right, so there is my jellyfish. All right, and I'm just gonna keep going with that. All right, so I have colored in all of my jellyfish, white, that you probably can't see very well. But now I'm gonna color in some seaweed on the bottom. All right, so I'm just gonna have some seaweed coming up. All right, and you can have different kinds of seaweed. And different colors. So I've got some lighter green and darker green, and we've been talking about using more than one shade of a color just to make it look more interesting. You can have one that's got leaves on it. Okay, you can even have a little bit of ground in here if you want. All right. I'm gonna have kind of a little plant that kind of goes like this. Well, it's a few little underwater plants and one that's gonna go high over here. All right, I'm gonna add some of my lighter colors in there. Okay, there I go. So I'm pretty happy with my picture so far. Now I'm going to get in with the paints. Now we're going to use liquid watercolor because I find when we're doing water and things like that, the liquid watercolor really works well. So I've got blue, green, purple, a little bit of purple, and then this is a blue-green mixed together. All right, and I'm using a bigger brush because we're just going to get lots of water in there, and we're just going to get a very wet brush. All right, whenever you feel like this, whenever you feel your brush is starting to get too dry, then dip it in the water. You may or may not need more paint. All right, so I'm gonna get some I'm gonna get some green in here now. Just here and there. And see how the paint is just blending and you're kind of getting puddles in here? That's okay, because we just want it really wet. I'm gonna get some of this in. This is the greenish blue, more green than blue. All right, do you see how the jellyfish, they're just totally resisting the paint. All right, and I'm just kind of mixing it up here. And you might get some of that on your brush. That's all right, we'll wash that off later. You don't want to scrub it too hard. But do you see how this is really quick? Lots of water. And you don't want to scrub any one place too many times. If you start scrubbing one place, what happens? The paper starts to rip. There we go. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit more green down in here. And see how it's just kind of spreading around? You can blot like this. All right, and do you see these puddles and things? I kind of like that. That's what's making it. It's gonna make it really interesting. Just gonna spread that around a little bit. But see how quick that was? It was just a really quick get in there with a lot of water. As soon as your paintbrush starts to dry out, get more water on it. You don't necessarily need more paint, but you need more water. And look, oh, here's a fun technique. It just accidentally dripped on. And if you do that, it kind of makes little spots too. You can even get more on here and do that. Okay, and that kind of makes little spots. So that looks very interesting too. So have fun, play around with those kinds of things, and I look forward to seeing your jellyfish creations, underwater scenes.